You know, we talk about the notable people we've buried. Well, that's fine and good, but it doesn't mean much to some grieving family here right now, today. It's the people who run here. They do anything for people that help them out, really. We're going back to the beginning of the O'Connor family in the mortuary service. That was in 1898. With my grandfather, partnered with Thomas Cunningham in Los Angeles. Well, for years, Cunningham and O'Connor was very successful. It was almost known as a Catholic mortuary, which it really wasn't, of course. It was open to anybody. I went to college, graduated from college, St. Mary's, go Gales. Toward the end of the Korean War, they had at that time what they called the Universal Military Training Act, where if you're between a certain age, you were obligated to serve in some manner. So I did that. Graduated from St. Mary's and went to Newport, Rhode Island. During this time, the romance was heated up with Jane and I, so we did a lot of letter writing and a lot of long distance romance, so to speak. Well, I came home and I had a wife and child, and I needed a job. So I asked my father, I said, any openings at the mortuary? And he said, well, he wasn't really dying to have me, frankly. And he said, well, I'll talk to our manager, Charlie Mercer, see if he can fit you in somewhere. Well, that was his welcome to the mortuary business. I mean, he didn't want to give me any promises that, I'd have a job waiting for me as soon as I arrived home. Not at all. We started washing cars, all those. The big thing in those days, we had 2 hearses, 2 limousines, 2 removal cars, and they were always spick and span. I remember spent hot summer days in August, smog-filled days in Los Angeles, washing cars. My father, I have to say, to his own credit, kind of let me alone, let me find my own way. And if anybody, probably my biggest mentor in those days was our manager, great man, Charlie Mercer. He kind of took me under his wing, more so than my father, which was fine. I didn't want to I wasn't going to be daddy's boy. The spoiled kid working, with getting all the privileges from his father. The one location in Los Angeles became 2, then became 3, but then until we decided to sell the partnership. They didn't want to, put out the capital to buy additional locations. So I was still rather a young man those days with 7 children and 9 mouths to feed. I said, this isn't going anywhere. If I want to continue in this business, we got to do something on our own. So Orange County, South Orange County was a very lucrative field. There wasn't a lot of funeral homes here in those days. So we bit the bullet and found property here in Alicia Parkway and went ahead and built. I look back on it and say, how did I do this? Talk about my friends, how did I have encouragement? Call this encouragement. They said, Joe, there's only 1 letter difference between nuts and guts. Because here on Alicia Parkway, before any homes, before any shopping centers, the hills are filled with sheep and shepherds. Our children called it Little House on the Prairie. That's just what it was. The first month we had 6 funerals. That was in January. In February we had 9. In March we doubled that. March we had 18. From that we were pretty much on our way. Really had a string of burying many well-known Hollywood people. Clark Gable, Bing Crosby. 6 months later, we had Gary Cooper. The funeral for John Wayne, we had that at 5 a.m. I think maybe we were called to do those funerals because the public, those people knew that we had a way of keeping things down and keeping good order and well-run services. I have to talk about the staff here. For years, women just didn't work in a mortuary. Maybe it wasn't accepted. Today, big change. The majority of our staff are women. I love them. They are wonderful, believe me. They are lovingly considerate, a way to deal with families, so friendly, efficient in what they do, their job. They do everything. They're embalmers, they're hairdressers, they're going on services, they're making removals from difficult places, homes, bring to the mortuary. And the majority of the staff now are women. And I think that's great. I think it's great. We get letters, incredible letters. Oh, thank you. And they said, we hope we never come here again. But if we have to, this is the place to come to.